everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope everybody's doing well. We'll be playing 2 Point Hospital today.
At 2 Point Hospital, over 52% of our patients believe they leave healthier than when they arrived. Our precisely calibrated equipment is operated by compassionate healthcare practitioners, many of whom have even been to medical school or watched ER. If you suffer from turtle head, let us ease your worries and noggin gently out of your body. Chest infection is no laughing matter. Put your trust and oversized shoes in our capable hands. We're building a brighter, safer future, and hardly anything will stand in our way. You deserve the best. So join us at 2 Point Hospital. We're open for new staff, new patients, and a new you. Can I go play golf yet? I'm teeing off at 3.
My turn. That's the introduction. I don't know if they do that every time you play the game. Again, I thought I was in tutorial mode. I guess maybe they don't do that anymore. Tutorial modes. But I was very pleased to see that there is a sandbox mode. I don't know how far ahead in the game you have to get before it's unlocked, but I couldn't use it. So again, this is another one of those Switch games that I've had for quite a while, and I just never played it. This was fun, I have to admit. I played it for close to 2 hours. This video was actually about 45 minutes long, and I sped it up, chopped it up to make it... Yeah, what is the word I'm looking for? To make it good for a YouTube upload. I don't know. On my channel anyway. The whole point is to build your little space here and try to get a good reputation. And I ended up being able to buy another hospital. I wasn't interested. I kept concentrating on this one. And like always, I had no idea how to use the controls. I kept reading these little pop-ups. You'll notice there's a little box that shows you how to make the... Well, this took me a long time to figure out. You don't just drag it and let go, because it disappears. I had to click each one of those boxes separately to make a room. It was very frustrating. I also need to learn how to, if it's even possible, move these rooms. When I used to watch these videos on YouTube, other creators that played the game, a few things annoyed me about it, and one of them was room placement. And obviously those guys never had any problems. They plunked things down and moved on. I couldn't do it. I could not figure it out. And even the instructions there below, it just says to select the room, make it the size that it's supposed to be, and then press X to finish. See, I had to do each one separately just to get it to work. And I don't think that's how it's done. But anyway, one thing about the game that annoyed me was the room placement. There's a lot of vacant space as you're building up your hospital. And being the way I am, that's a very annoying feature. I don't mind hallways and corridors. I understand that they're necessary, but when you start building each of these rooms and you think you've put them in a right spot, all of a sudden, like, there's a square that's just sitting there and there's nothing you can do with it. There's too much space between the rooms. There's like 2 squares at an end and you can't put anything on them, and oh my gosh, I'll have to get over that. I put things down. I didn't know how to flip them, turn them around. Eventually I figured it out. Another thing I do think I figured out is the rooms where they're looking at the patients. Like, what is it called? The ward? It asks you to put down 1 cot, one changing room, and the one desk for the nurse. And then it says, well, people are waiting, you need more room or whatever. So I just built a whole nother room, and I'm like, well, why can't I just put down more? Can you put 2 changing rooms and 2 cots in one room? I don't know. But I think I figured it out that you can. It took me a long time though. I'm not sure. And this radio that keeps coming on. My goodness.
On 2 Point Radio. You're listening to Harrison Wolf, the lone voice of reason, ready to spread some truth to all our vigilant listeners. So open your eyes and your ears and get ready to find out what's really going on. But first, here are some people playing musical instruments.
That creepy voice got annoying real quick. I wasn't really paying attention to the background music because I was concentrating too much. But when I went online to find out how do you do this and what do you press for that and where's the best way to do this and that and the other, there seems to be a what would you call it? I wish I could think of words right away, and I apologize. There's a split on the OST for this game. It seems like some people like it and some people don't, but I cannot tell if the people who are saying it's great are being sarcastic or not. I just can't tell. I don't know that it's all that bad. Because I don't mind bossa music. It's not, but I don't like it all. There are annoying songs in just about every genre that you can think of. So I'd have to really listen in order to make a final decision on that. But again, when you're playing the game, that's the last thing on your mind. But if you're sitting there waiting for results, oh my gosh, I guess it can get on your nerves real quick. But that's the other issue I thought I would mention. I was plunking down staff and assuming that they were going to go where they needed to be. And I don't think that's the case. I think when you hire someone, you have to put them precisely where they belong. But even when I was doing that, when I finally figured that out, they would stand in the room for a minute and then they just leave. And then a couple minutes I'd get a pop-up saying, well, this staff member's bored. This staff member doesn't know where to go. I ended up with like 9 nurses, 3 doctors, and 1 pharmacist. 3 janitors, none of whom knew how to chase ghosts, but it kept telling me, you've got ghosts in your hospital, you might want to hire a janitor who knows how to deal with them, but there was no option to let me hire someone who could. So that's probably something else that comes along at a later date. I think I got up to level... Is it level? It's your reputation. And once a year they have award ceremonies, and I think I ended up at level 3 when I cut this out. I can't remember. It could have been level 3 when I quit the game. I just felt like this video was getting really boring and monotonous. I was just doing the same thing over and over again and then sitting there watching to see what would happen. So I stopped it, but I did not want to stop playing the game, and that's a good sign. But I really want to know if you can just pick up the whole room and put it somewhere else. And I don't think you can. And even there, how do you delete a room? I have no idea. I thought I could find this information online, and again, I had difficulty finding answers to what I needed answered. It was a little annoying. So yeah, at this point they asked me for the make a bathroom, and he does pop up a lot, and that can get annoying as well. I don't know how it works in sandbox mode, but I prefer playing in sandbox mode just to avoid all of the reach this goal, try obtaining this, get this in the time limit, do this before the year ends, and oh man, no. Okay, no. I just want to build a hospital, put some people in it, and see what happens. But I did try to. I didn't even know that there were goals. I came across those by accident, because if you look down at the bottom right, that stuff there started annoying me. I'm like, why is there an X there? Oh, that's the button you press. So I press X, and all of these envelopes where they are, they're saving every single message, and there's no way to delete them. And I know this is something that's like, so what? It's part of the game. And I'm like, no, this is wasteful. This needs to go. When I'm done reading it, I want it deleted. But I did notice that one of those letters does explain, what did they call it? Movements? I can't remember. But I read that a couple times, and it does explain how to do this and what buttons to use to do that. So yeah, this top right side there, those are your goals. And I don't know that you have to achieve them. They were just there, but there are a couple that say, do you want to do this? Yes or no? And if you say yes, then a bunch of these patients will come in with the same disease. And it's up to your hospital to fix them on time, or a certain amount of patients in a certain amount of time. Mine were usually 90 days, and I'm sure that's because I'm at a low level. Ugh. It's a lot to take in and concentrate on. So I'm going to need to really play this again and again and again before I feel comfortable. But I'm trying to think if this type of a game is even worth recording again and again, because it's basically the same thing. I mean, it is cute. I suppose if I got much better at it and I knew all of the ins and outs, it might make a fun Let's Play. I don't know. I guess that would be up to you guys. I'll have to look at the amount of people who watch these videos and judge from there. Because again, that's why I stopped my Sims 4 Let's Play. They're just not being watched. No one's interested. It's kind of sad because I really want to do those. But I figured this week I would try these games and just throw them out there and see how people react. Because I do have a few more on Steam. Well, I've already played them though. I want to get back into Stardew Valley as well. My issue with Stardew Valley is I use mods when I play Stardew. It's just so much more convenient. And playing it raw, I don't know. I don't know that I would accomplish anything at all. I'm no good at fishing. Sword fighting in the mine isn't that big of a deal. But yeah, see, these employees, I had way too many of one and not enough of another. There are assistants as well, and I'm not quite sure where they're supposed to go. If you click the room a certain way, it will tell you who needs to go there. But if there's somebody already working there, even though they're not in the room, all it says is their name. It doesn't tell you where they are, why they're not there, or anything. Because promoting them, I think that's an option. I just don't know how it's done. I know how to fire them. Maybe it is in the same category. I don't know. Yeah, so this ward here drove me nuts. It's so small, so you have to keep building more, and I think that's ridiculous. You should be able to just expand the room and add more features to it. I guess not. Hiring was difficult for me. I did not understand it. But I really wanted a janitor who could take care of ghosts, and I just couldn't find one. So this is about as far as I got. I don't know that I did too bad. It's not that difficult to catch on. There's just a lot to take in all at once. And that's a little difficult for me. But thank you so much for watching this, supporting my channel. I hope you have an absolutely fabulous day. Take care of yourselves now. Bye-bye.